Hello smart bakers! The long-awaited authentic Madiga bread recipe you have been searching and requesting for is finally here. Yes, as a trained food processor, I bought the original, tested it and recreated it with identical organoleptic attributes. Same taste, same textural property, same aroma and same appearance, and you too can reproduce this by watching this video. Yes, this video is positioned not only to review the snack recipe to you, but also educates you on how you too can mirror my unique process in order to produce, customize and preserve your own Madiga bread, be it for home use or commercial purpose. Don't skip a second of this video for anything, as this might be your game-changing recipe your snack business has been waiting for. So hit the like button, let's begin immediately. So smart bakers, let's begin to introduce our ingredients so that you will know exactly what you should use for your Madiga bread production. I will also show you how to apply them directly into your production and why you should use each of these ingredients in your Madiga bread. So 3 cups of bread flour is added into our bowl. Yes, bread flour is chosen because of its high protein and gluten strength that provides the chewy textural property of Madiga bread that your customers will always love. So if you have the interest of your customers at heart, then opt for a bread flour. Next, add 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of baking powder. Baking powder is the main rising agent of Madiga bread. It helps your dough to rise evenly in the oven during baking. Now, baking powder should not be used alone in this recipe, but with the assistance of yeast in a smaller amount. The ratio of baking powder to yeast in Madiga bread production is 2:1. Which means that since we use 2 teaspoons of baking powder, our yeast should be, and it is, a teaspoon. Now, the role of yeast in this recipe is primarily not for rising, but to provide that unique fermented aroma with slight chewy texture that really makes the Madiga a bread. I hope you are following. Good. Next ingredient is 3 tablespoons of sugar. Sugar is added as a sweetener that helps to retain moisture and then extend the shelf life for you, the producers and food vendors. Note that Madiga bread is not expected to be too sugary or sweet, so ensure to use sugar in a mild quantity as expressed in this video. So bakers, let's add our margarine. Yes, and we are using white margarine or shortening. Yes, I love the outcome of this choice of margarine because unlike the usual yellow table margarine, white shortening provides a neutral taste, better snack structure and a longer shelf life. And not just that, it doesn't overpower the natural bread aroma nor change its color. Isn't that amazing? And it's almost the same price with the yellow margarine. So go for it. At this point, we'll add in our flavor. And I permit you to add in your own best flavor so that you customize your Madiga and keep your customers flowing into your sales. Personally, I would prefer powdered vanilla flavor for this recipe, but I could not access it the day I was making this video, so I decided to use the liquid. If you are done like me, let's add the final ingredient, which is salt. Yes, please don't add a pinch, but half a teaspoon. Salt will help the dough to regulate the fermentation process and overall taste. It also strengthens your dough gluten network, thereby helping the dough to hold gas during baking. One more thing, You can choose to add a tablespoon of powdered preservative for longer shelf life of up to 2 weeks if necessary. So now that we're done with the addition and introduction of all the ingredients, go ahead, mix these ingredients for about 3 minutes until its texture becomes crumbly. And you can taste for your crumb by taking a pinch into your mouth if you want to ascertain proper distribution of the ingredients round about your crumb. And if you didn't feel the salt separately, sugar separately, then you have done a good job. Now it is time to mix our crumb with water to form a dough. I'll be using 1/2 and 1/4 cup of water, equivalent to 180 to 200 ml, depending on the type of your flour. Generally speaking, when it comes to water addition for dough formation, add water just enough to bring the dough together, not too wet, not too dry. Proper hydration ensures balanced texture and extended shelf life. Is that understood? So smart bakers, let's move into the next phase, which is the kneading of the dough. And if the dough is too big for you to handle at once, you can divide it into 2 for easy handling. Now with your hand, knead the dough not less than 8 to 10 minutes until it becomes smooth, elastic and stretchy. Proper kneading will help activate your protein gluten, build the structure of your dough that holds air during baking. And to be sincere with you bakers, this long kneading is the only thing I have done differently from the previous baked bread buns video I uploaded earlier before now. It constitutes of over 60% of what makes your Madiga bread to acquire a whitish appearance. Kneading literally transforms your dough from buns-like to bread-like. It is a food processing unit process that must not be skipped in Madiga bread production. And if it is too tedious for you to do, you can hire the service of commercial bakeries or use your spiral mixer, fufu pounder, if you can find one. And if you cannot, then hire a laborer. Most important thing is to get it done and well done. I hope you are gaining value. If yes, then what stops you from giving this video a like? Would you do that for me? Of course I know you will. Alright, thank you. So now that the texture of our dough is smooth, soft and elastic, it is time to shape our dough. And we will do that by using a flour sprinkling and a rolling out method. And to manually do that easily and effectively, here is a secret. Firstly, flatten your dough with your rolling pin as flat as possible in a rectangular manner. Then, shorten the length of your flattened dough by folding into 2. Now, from the width side of your folded rectangle, roll out the dough again into another rectangle. And once the dough is wide enough, fold into another good rectangular shape. And continue in that manner. This process, like the kneading process, is also very transformational. And it is a unique process that makes Madiga or bread buns recipe differ from every other snack. And the more you fold, the more your bread buns comes together into a unique and perfect texture of that hard to find Madiga bread. And don't forget that sprinkling flour in this process is not optional. Please copy me so that you can get the same result that I get, okay? Yes, and in case you want to mechanize your production procedure for bulk production, all you need to do is to mirror this process. After mixing and milling of your dough, probably by your spiral mixer, You still need a roller to flatten your dough. The rolling machine should do that as many times as possible until you have a thickness of about half an inch. In fact, it has been the procedure and strategy usually employed by commercial users. So you can see our dough is seriously coming together, looking so smoother, soft and thick. Yes, wow. So at this point, we've gotten to a thickness of about half an inch, and we have to trim out our edges with knife as we begin to shape our thick dough into Madiga bread. So because I am using a slab, you can use any flat, sharp object around you to do this. Once you give it a mark, you can then cut with your knife. You can also decide to cut directly with your knife. It is all up to you. And your cutting size should also depend on the type of customer that you have and how much you may want to sell to them. I will advise you take accurate measurements of your dough before cutting into a specific size. And once you're done shaping and cutting, then we move to the next phase, which is the proving phase. Now listen, in Madiga we don't egg wash, rather we flour wash. Yes, during baking, these flour particles help to protect and prevent the bread from browning, thereby retaining the white signature property of a Madiga bread. And these are some of the things you need to do in order to get your Madiga whitish. So pierce in some fork and place in a warm place so that it can prove for about 20 minutes. I preheated my oven and then turned it off. This process helps to raise the temperature of my oven for effective and fast proving process. Now, after 20 minutes, here is it. You may or may not notice a notable change in size, but believe me, it has proven. And now we can turn on our oven and then begin to bake. I baked for 25 minutes at 180 degrees C, and here is it. I used both the up and down heat to bake, and when it was ready, it was no longer sticking to my pan. So at this point, it is done but still looking dusty. You can dedust the flour with brush and leave it to cool till the next day. And now to know if your Madiga is well cooked on the inside, let's check it out. Wow! Can you see it? This is exactly how it usually comes out in whole. It does not look crumbly at all, rather it sticks together. And there is this beautiful flavor that always accompanies it. Yes, hope you are checking it out. Not burnt, not brown, both at the surface and underneath. Just look at that. So let me ask you a question. If you know about this snack, what is it called in your area? Because I learned that it is being called several names by several tribes and several people. Type it in the comment section. Would you do me that favor? Type it in the comment section so that we can trigger the algorithm to review this product to several people searching for this snack by its native name. And that is it, my beautiful people. Our long-awaited authentic Madiga bread is now recreated to perfection. Soft, light and chewy, exactly how customers love it. And now you too can make it confidently for your snack business and bakery. I'm waiting for your testimonial results in the comment section after trying this recipe. If you learned not just how to make Madiga bread but other helpful baking tips in this video, why don't you subscribe to this channel because every of our videos gives you value. Share this video with other bakers, food handlers, and snack lovers to build an innovative nation. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.